Let's give it another shot. Woo! Yeah! Oh yeah, that's a bonus. Woo! Woo! I love it. Fantastic car. Woo! Grabe. See? Now I'm talking Tagalog. Suave! What a car. I love it. This is a real car, guys. A real car. So you drive a Ford Mustang GT, but you really want a Shelby GT 500. Well, the Auto Hub Group, who is the sole distributor for Shelby American in the Philippines, has got you covered. You see, they can turn any V8-powered Ford Mustang, as long as it's model year 2018 or higher, into a Shelby Mustang GT like this example that we have here. Now, if you want to know what sort of upgrades and performance figures we're talking about, well, stick around and watch this video. Let's do this. Hello guys, I'm Reagan and welcome back to another car feature. If you're new to my channel, I want you to click that subscribe button for your regular dose of Philippine automotive content. If you're my subscriber already, well, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. But first, click that like button. Also, special thanks to the Auto Hub Group for providing the Shelby Mustang GT to do this feature. If you are within the area and you have a Ford Mustang GT and you want to convert it into a Shelby Mustang, well, head on down here and check them out. For any inquiries, you may also contact the person in my pinned comment below. As most gearheads know, Shelby American is an American tuning company that was founded by the late Carroll Shelby. Shelby American is well known for creating iconic Mustangs like the Super Snake and the GT 500. Now, lately, Shelby American has been partnering with well-known tuning companies worldwide to deliver authentic Shelby kits to Ford Mustang owners in that area. Here in the Philippines, well, that partnership was done with the Auto Hub Group. Auto Hub, under license with Shelby American, would bring in these authentic Shelby kits and create authentic Shelby Mustang GTs. Now, if you're wondering like how much will this kit cost, well, an entire kit would set you back around 2,950,000 Philippine pesos, but there are a couple of caveats there. First of all, you need to have a 2018 model Mustang or newer, and second, you need to have a V8 powered Mustang. Now, you can opt to get that kit and upgrade your base Mustang GT, or you can opt to purchase a fully built Shelby Mustang GT right here from Auto Hub for around 6,450,000 Philippine pesos. Now, some people would say, why would I even buy a Shelby Mustang GT when I can just go straight to Ford Philippines and purchase a Shelby GT 500? Well, two things. First, a Shelby GT 500 costs 7.6 million Philippine pesos, which is over ₱1,000,000 more expensive than a Shelby Mustang GT. And second, well, Shelby American started out as a tuning company that modifies and kits out Ford Mustangs. So yeah, essentially, a Shelby Mustang GT is closer to Shelby American's tuning roots. So now that we've cleared that up, well, what exactly can you expect from a Shelby Mustang GT? Well, let's dive in and find out. Now, right off the bat, you can immediately tell that this Shelby Mustang GT is no ordinary Ford Mustang. Now, the Shelby kit includes replacing the hood with this bulging number here, which helps to accommodate that supercharger on top of the engine block. Now, since we have a supercharger in place, we also generate more heat, so this Shelby hood also comes with functional heat extractors to help remove all of that hot air. Now, if you'll notice, it also has an iconic design here. This Shelby hood also has this dual racing stripes, which is an iconic symbol for all Shelby models because of its participation in the 24-hour of Le Mans. Now, the Shelby Mustang GT also comes with this Shelby front grille right here, and we have a more aggressive front splitter right there, which, if you put it all together, makes the Shelby Mustang GT look so menacing and aggressive, although it's not as wild as the aero bits found in the Shelby GT500. Here on the side, the Shelby Mustang GT gets more aggressive upgrades found in the Shelby kit. The rocker panels have been upgraded here into, well, these Shelby-specific side skirts. We also get these Shelby badges on the front fender, as well as on the rear quarter panel, which tells everybody that this is no ordinary, well, Ford Mustang. However, we don't really get the bulging wide-body fenders found in the Shelby GT500, but we do get the side mirror housing that also comes with the Shelby's puddle lamps. Now, I do know that that's not really a performance upgrade, guys, but at least it's there and it's nice to have. Now, when it comes to performance, well, this Shelby Mustang GT also comes with these Shelby-specific 20-inch alloy wheels that are wrapped in a staggered tire setup. We get Toyo Process right here, and we get 285s for the front tires and 315s for the rear tires. Now, for the mechanical bits, well, the braking is still handled by a large Brembo brake setup up front and disc brakes at the back. For the suspension, we have Ford Performance MagneRide dampers here, and we also have, well, uprated sway bars and coil springs for better handling and maneuverability. Over here at the back, well, the Shelby kit also comes with this taillight assembly change here into these transparent units, plus we also have a more aggressive ducktail spoiler. Now, as you can see, we also have here the full Shelby badge spelled out right there on the deck lid, and we also have, well, a Cobra badge found here front and center. Now, of course, the Shelby kit also comes with Shelby's catback exhaust system. We've got quad exhaust pipes here, which I'm sure most of you are already dying to listen to, so here you go. Wow, that V8 engine growl sounds so much better with this Shelby catback exhaust system. Now, speaking of V8, let's head over to the front and check out that V8 monster. Now, as we go over to the front side of the business, you'll notice that the Shelby Mustang GT doesn't come with the dual hood pins that we first saw in the GT500. Now, some people might think that that's a demerit, but personally, if you were to ask me, well, I prefer not having the hood pins because it's so much easier to open this hood. Now that I've lifted this thing up, you'll notice that we're still on a prop rod. So now that is a bit of a demerit for me because I would have expected that we would have gotten some automatic gas struts here to help lift this heavy hood up. But, well, we still get a prop rod, so yeah, it is what it is. Now that we have this hood open, you'll see that, yes, the heat extractors here are functional, and we also have a large coolant reservoir right there with the Shelby name on it. You see, this V8 engine is now supercharged, so it will generate tons and tons of heat. So it will need a lot of cooling. That's why we have an uprated coolant reservoir right here. Now, when you turn your attention over to the engine itself, you'll see that we have the supercharger right there on top of the engine block. And this is an Edelbrock supercharger, and it's capable of squeezing out as much as 700 horsepower from this V8 engine. Now, 700 horsepower is in a supercar territory already, and it's just 60 horsepower shy of the maximum power output of the Shelby GT500. Now, as I mentioned in my in my past video, in my Porsche GT3 RS video, well, anybody who says that they need more than 500 horsepower has got to be one crazy loco person. Now, the cockpit of this Shelby Mustang GT is pretty much, well, it's similar to the cockpit of a regular Ford Mustang GT. Now, some people might say that that's a bit of a bummer because, well, this is a performance Shelby Mustang and it should have a different cockpit or layout from the regular Mustang GTs. Well, guys, let's put it this way. You see the regular, well, the newest Ford Mustang GTs, the cockpits, the amenities inside are all performance related already. That there's really not much that you can do to, to upgrade it, to change it, to make it even better. It's already quite good as it is. Now, having said that, guys, we do get a couple of changes here to make this a little bit more special. On your doors, on your door sills, we do get the Shelby GT badging there. And on top of the center dashboard, we have here a row of, well, cobalt gauges that helps you monitor your boost pressure, your fuel pressure, and your oil temperature. Now, these cobalt gauges are placed in a carbon fiber housing, well, because, well, carbon fiber is, well, racier enough. But other than those two, well, we don't really get any other Shelby bits here inside. I'm quite surprised that even the steering wheel here still has the pony badge instead of a Cobra badge. So I'm not really sure why we don't get the Cobra badge right here. If you guys know the reason, well, please let me know in the comments below. Now, as I said, guys, the cockpit layout, the materials, the features here are all similar to a regular Ford Mustang GT. We get a leather-wrapped Recaro seats here. We get a leather-wrapped steering wheel here as well. The instrument gauge cluster is the same fully digital format that changes in design and display depending on the drive mode you're in. If you're in normal mode, you just see a regular speedo and tach. And then if you switch it to a Sport Plus, well, then this thing shows you a more elongated tachometer area. And then after that, we have the track mode, which just shows you your tachometer and the digital speedometer layout. And we also have here the drag strip mode, pretty much similar to track mode. And we also have winter or snow mode right there, and back to normal. It's the same thing that we saw in the Ford Mustang GT, and it's also the same when it comes to the infotainment system. We have the same 8-inch touchscreen infotainment system here with the Ford's MySync 3. It also has Apple CarPlay and Android Auto plus a reverse camera. We also have toggle switches here at the lower part with the engine start-stop button. We have a toggle switch for traction control off. That's the fun mode. We also have a toggle switch for your drive modes and also for your steering response. Now, as I mentioned, guys, yes, this is pretty much a typical Ford Mustang GT cockpit with some Shelby bits and pieces thrown in. Now, here's the thing. At the start of this video, guys, I said that this is going to be a car feature, basically a walk around of the Shelby Mustang GT. But breaking news, guys, I just got clearance just now to take this Shelby Mustang GT out for a drive. So, who's with me? Who wants to experience that supercharged V8 power? Well, stick around. Let's do this right now. Alright, guys, we are now driving the Shelby Mustang GT, and oh boy, this is such a treat, guys. I mean, my goodness, at first I was just supposed to do a walk around car feature of this thing, but thank you so much to the Auto Hub group for giving me clearance to drive this supercharged V8 monster. Wow, you hear that sound? My goodness, I mean, I love the rumble of a V8 engine, but a supercharged V8? Man, I think I'm in love! Woo! And I'm just going around like, like slow city speeds here, but wow, the sound, it's crazy, the sound. I can't wait to really try this out full clip. A little bit later on, guys, we're gonna look for an open road, and we're going to do that full clip. Let's go. Woo! Woo! Oh my goodness! Yeah! And that's just around the rotunda. Woohoo! Now, usually, when you're driving a supercharged V8 monster like this Shelby Mustang GT, one of the bigger concerns would be daily drivability. Of course, if you've got like up to 700 horsepower on tap, you might think that this is going to be a wild stallion and it's going to be quite a challenge to control. The thing is, as I'm going around this city, and we're going around at city speeds, and we're going around traffic, as you can see in front of me, it's a bit of traffic in front. You'd be surprised to know that, well, this V8 monster, this supercharged V8 monster, is quite tame on city streets. See, you've got the oomph, you've got the acceleration there, but it's not a pain to drive around the traffic situations like what we're going through now. Yeah, you've got a good amount of oomph there, see? But it is quite easy to handle around these city streets, and I am quite surprised with that, because I would have expected that this would be a handful to control, but that's not the case, guys. In fact, when you're going around like city streets from stoplight to stoplight, well, it's quite docile and quite tame. Now, granted, we do have that modified hood up front, and you have that hood bulge. So yes, the visibility, the forward visibility has been compromised a little bit, making it pretty similar to the visibility of, let's say, a Camaro. Now, you'd get used to that pretty quickly. Yeah, but I'm really quite surprised. This is an easy daily driver for something that has a ton of horsepower on tap. Now, of course, if you can live with the fuel consumption of this thing, well then, yeah, you could daily drive it. All right, we have a bit of a stretch here. Let's see the acceleration. All right, my man. Whoa. All right, let's try it again. Woo! You hear that? Do you hear that? Wow, that you've got really good acceleration here, guys. But it's not like brutal, which is a bit of a surprise. It's comfortable. We're accelerating quickly, we're giving it gas, but guys, wow, that is quite surprising. You know, this Shelby Mustang is a very convenient sports car to drive, a very convenient muscle car. Dito tayo. Oo nga. Ooh, what's this? There is, wow, what in the world is this? Okay, we'll have to go back. And I'm quite taken aback by how comfortable the Shelby Mustang GT is to drive. I mean, you could take it up near its limit. I doubt that I even took it to like 25% of the limit. Well, that's because we are on city streets, guys, so it's not really safe to like go flat out. But I was quite surprised that it is quite comfortable. It's a very comfortable car to drive. You don't really feel the urgency in the speed. You don't feel it. You're going fast. You know that you're going fast. Your speedometer is telling you that you're going fast. But it doesn't feel visceral. It doesn't feel brutal. And that, my friends, is good news. Especially for people who want to have the performance without having to, to pony up the sacrifice in getting that performance. The sacrifice in ride comfort, the sacrifice in ride quality. Because this thing is super comfortable. I am quite surprised, even if we're riding on 20-inch alloy wheels, really thin tires here, guys, I am quite surprised that this thing is super comfortable to drive. It's not that jittery. Now granted, I am in just normal mode. I'm not even in Sport Plus. Because yeah, you can't really go Sport Plus in this situation that we're driving in right now. Maybe if I can take this out to the track, then I could try it out with the Sport Sharp or Sport Plus, sorry, and or even in track mode. But as it is, guys, we are quite lucky to have this opportunity to drive this around here in the city, get a feel of this car, get a feel of its driving performance. Whereas we now know that this Shelby Mustang GT is a super convenient and comfortable sports car to drive. I mean, my goodness, this is even more comfortable than my own Mazda Miata. Overall, guys, well, I am just thankful and lucky enough that I got to drive this even for a short while. I got to experience that supercharged V8 power. I mean, this thing has more than enough power for anybody. I don't even think that you can reach the limits of this thing if you're just driving on like on regular roads, guys. But yeah, having that kind of sound, that kind of concert behind me and in front of me, woo! That, my friends, is music to my ears. Fantastic. The Shelby Kit is a piece of good news for local Ford Mustang GT owners who want to upgrade their rides into authentic Shelby Mustangs. It's also a piece of good news for those who want to buy an authentic Shelby Mustang GT straight from the dealership without having to pay for the costlier Shelby GT 500. Now, the Shelby Mustang GT by itself is already on the costly side, but nobody ever said that builds by Shelby American would come cheap. Now, if you want to have the best, well then, you better pony up the cash to acquire the best. Pun intended. And speaking of the best, guys, well, when it comes to tuned Mustangs, nothing beats a Mustang that's been tuned by Shelby American. Thanks for watching.